Hello there, and welcome to Wake and Bake with your friendly neighborhood old bat. How y'all doing this morning? I see we have see-through Gypsy in my chat. How you doing, sis? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You pack your little heart out, girl, and I see you are here too, Corey. How you doing, love? Love you mean it. Hey, Sunnyside, how you doing? How y'all doing? We got some Mary McCheese dick action for you this morning. I'm going to show you every man's dream first, then I'm going to show you Jess again.
Alrighty, this UFO story is going to blow your mind.
I highly doubt that, but let's hear what you got to say, you dumb son of a bitch.
And this was dropped in my lap just recently, and it's
Hey, Mrs. Mud Duck.
it's one of those stories that is so far out there that it almost has to be real, because this guy was terrified. And, you know, us guys, we pride ourselves on being the strong, silent type, and nothing's going to scare me, and that sort of thing, you know. And this guy was terrified. Well, what he's terrified of is something that most men would not be terrified of if the situation was somewhat different. They say, well, Vaughn, what in the world are you talking about? Well, here's the story, okay? This guy...
You are shit at telling stories. You know that? Watching my fishies eat. Yeah, I love watching them. They're relaxing. That's why I got them, because they're relaxing. Everything in this room is conducive to a relaxing environment. Got all my favorite things in here. You don't have a room like that, do you, Vaughn? No, you got your car seat. And your dog pissing on everything.
He had just gotten done dropping his girlfriend off at her house, and so he's heading back to his place, and he's going to crash for a while, I guess. You know, get a couple Z's, whatever, and then I guess get ready for work or whatever. So he drops the girlfriend off, and he comes home, and he's about to hop in the bed, and something hits the bed. Something actually landed on the bed, and he blew it off. He's like, well, you know, maybe a stray cat came in or something, and you know, no big deal. And so he blew it off, and he went to sleep. Well, the next thing he knows, he's woken up, and he says he's woken up as his body is coming back into as his spirit body is coming back into his physical one. And that kind of shook him up. But what shook him up even worse was that he had this female astride him, getting it on, having a good time. And the problem is that it wasn't human. That's the problem. And and so he describes this woman, but he describes this woman as beautiful. I mean, she has beautiful blue eyes, and, you know, an almond-shaped face, and just, you know, really, really beautiful. He compared her to Cher a little bit, because Cher kind of has an almond-shaped face, but not quite as almond shaped as this chick. But her hair, he said her hair was translucent. So obviously that rules out humans. But her hair was translucent. He said, and he said she was very beautiful, really nice sized tatas. And so she's on top of him. And unfortunately for him, he's claustrophobic. And so she grabs his head and puts his head right in her breast. And he said he almost suffocated because she was strong. You know, this female is super strong. And, you know, and you said, well, that's, you know, maybe it's because she's an alien, or it could just be because she's female and her adrenaline's going. I mean, when you got the
the fuck are you talking about, you son of a bitch? What the fuck are you
Adrenaline
talking
going,
about?
you're going to be strong as an ox. It ain't going to matter whether you're a man or a woman. So she pushes his face into her tatas, and she's just going at it.
Yeah, her name was Candy. He said that he could get her to come to him at the snap of fingers. She took exception to that. Vaughn thought he could get in her pants because they were friendly. Never be friendly with Vaughn if you're a female, because he'll think that he can get in your pants.
And the guy looks over, and there's this Asian-looking chick. Asian, and not the British version of Asian, because Britain, for some reason, thinks Muslims are Asians. No, Asians, yellow skin, slanted eyeballs, that sort of thing. And so she's sitting over there, and he said that she looked already pregnant.
Oh my God. This is the most convoluted fucking story. I'm sorry I missed it. But you know how it is when you have sundowners, you forget shit. I forgot my drinks. You know how it is. Sundowners and all.
And about the time he's soaking all this information in, he felt something burning his throat. And apparently she had given him some kind of pill that burns his throat and gave him an erection for 6 hours, he said. And so he's got these two chicks. Now, show of hands, guys. How many guys have fantasized about at the same time? Come on now, let's be honest, guys. Okay, this guy's,
Mine doesn't. Mine doesn't. He's perfectly content with what he's got. He told me so. Besides, he's had two chicks at the same time.
but this guy's terrified. And I guess he's terrified because they're not human. But see, as somebody that actually has done research on this sort of thing, I can tell you that there's a lot more scarier shit out there that could have been on top of him than these girls were.
Hey, Maggie doll.
They're called a succubus, and they work alone. And in addition to getting the sex out of you, they also want to take a little piece of your soul. They will literally suck part of your soul out of you. And it's very painful, very dangerous, very scary. And if they take too much of your soul, guess what? You die. It's called a succubus. You can look that shit up, folks. SUCC.
Oh, that's not how it's spelled. It's spelled SHANNY. And they weigh 500 fucking pounds.
UBUS, succubus. And they are demonic entities. They are evil spirits, demonic entities. Anyways, so these were obviously not demonic entities. These were extraterrestrials, something akin to Pleiadians or Nordic, because he said they were humanoid. Mostly humanoid. They kind of look like us. And and I'm sitting here, listening to this story, because this is live. He's telling this guy live, and I'm sitting here listening to the story. He said, "Yeah,
You got 153 views in 6 hours. You reckon I ought to start telling fucking whoppers too? I ought to start telling big ass fucking whoppers? Like I had a space alien's baby or some shit? Seriously. I ought to start saying that I had a space alien's baby or some shit, or that I had Bigfoot's baby or some shit. So that I could get the views that Vaughn does.
Yeah, scared is probably not what I would have been at that point. At that point, I probably would not have been
Hey,
scared,
all right, Corey.
but it was just,
No, he hasn't. No, he
it's
hasn't.
bizarre. Uh, and now obviously they don't talk
No, that stream came out yesterday, and I went over it. He hasn't said anything yet, but I anticipate for him to. Um, fuck. This sumbitch ain't gonna stay quiet.
with a voice like we do. They use the mind, and she was she was actually upset because she said something. She told him in her mind, with his mind, that this is not how it's been acting. Normally everything went smooth as silk, and this time for whatever reason it didn't go smooth. And she's telling the Asian chick what's going on and all that, and almost as if she's instructing the Asian chick, but the Asian chick was already impregnated, he said, because she had a very protruding belly, so she was already pregnant. So I don't know what she would be instructing her on, unless it would be maybe the medication that she gave him that allowed him to remain erect.
Oh, shut up. So they gave him Viagra to keep up. Okay, right on. Was that space Viagra? Did it keep you up for days and days and days and days? You use that with some ecstasy or some coke and really go to town, man.
And believe me, these now, you laugh at this, but now there is medication out there, folks, that will give a man an erection that women can use. They can slip it in a man's drink just like a man can slip a Mickey in a woman's drink. No different. And it will give a man an erection. It will. So very interesting stuff. But I just I wanted to share this because this is probably the most
In the words of Granny Clump, powerful erection, powerful erection.
bizarre UFO story I've ever heard. But this chick was, I guess, either a Nordic or a Pleiadian, because they're human. They look human, like us. They look a lot like us. I'm assuming Nordic, but I could be wrong on that. But at least, hey, on the bright side, at least it wasn't an insectoid or a reptilian or a gray. So I mean,
Hey,
it was
Shiloh,
human
how you
looking.
doing?
But my thing is, what about the Asian chick? Because he didn't say she was a Nordic at all. He said she was just an Asian chick. I'm assuming human. So what the hell's going on there? But the idea being, the thinking being that they're trying to create
Oh,
a
nice,
hybrid
Shiloh.
race that would withstand cataclysmic changes to the Earth in case that were to happen. That's the thinking anyway. But as a red-blooded American male, I'm confident that unless it's a succubus, I'm going to be a
Oh,
really
I'm
happy
doing
man
good,
with a smile
Shiloh.
on my
Thanks for
face.
asking.
Call me crazy.
You are crazy.
Call me crazy, but and it's it's like, dude, I mean, this guy is terrified. And it's like, terrified of what? They're human. Well, kind of human, mostly human.
Oh, you're saying you'd go in here and tear that pussy up, in other words. What are you, jealous? You jelly? You jelly, 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 jelly donut? Two chicks at the same time, you fucking prick.
Like I said, at least it wasn't a reptilian or an insectoid or a gray, you know. Now, there's a book out there called Communion by Whitley Strieber. He was assaulted by a female gray. so, if I remember correctly, I believe he was assaulted by a female gray. He woke up having a female gray on top of him. So I mean, I would think that would be a hell of a lot scarier than something that looks human, right? So I don't understand the man's terror, but he was terrified, and it showed in his face too. That's the thing. That's the thing that got me. It showed in his face. You know, if this was all BS.
You know what? I don't care what the fucking man looked like or the men look like that showed up in my fucking bed. I'd be fucking terrified. I would be terrified. You don't want to be fucking assaulted, you fucking prick. Nobody does. Maybe he didn't want to. Hell, it would be a terrifying if it happened, which it didn't.
Yes, I believe it would be very hard for him to show the fear in his face that he did, because you'd have to be a world-class actor in order to be able to pull that shit off. And this guy's no actor. He's just a normal Joe. So I'm tending to kind of lean to the fact, I mean, obviously something happened because, you know, he remembers it vividly. But it's just, you know, so and it could just be some chick slipped him a Mickey that gave him a boner and made him delirious or something. But the interesting thing was he said it burned his throat real bad, which that's interesting. I don't think anything we have out there nowadays burns your throat. But yeah, pretty bizarre story, huh? I would love to change places with him. I'd love to know where this occurred at so that I could change places with him. Because that would have been the night of my life, I would think, you know.
You would. You old pervert. You're an old pervert. No one wants to have sex with you. Aliens do not want to have sex with you. Nobody wants to have sex with you. No one wants to have sex with you, Von Helton. No one. Finally found my roach clip. Kitty grabbed it and flung it under the desk. Found it. Makes things lots easier.
I would have remembered it but for different reasons. But it was this was just such a bizarre UFO story. I had to tell it. But, the guy swears up and down, man. It's 100% legit, 100% real. And there have been stories of, like I said, Whitley Strieber's book, Communion. And I believe he said he was straddled by a gray. An 8-footer, not one of the little 3-footers, an 8-footer. The 3-footers are robotic, I think. They're a biological robot, if you will. And I described that in my previous video. Still trying to wrap my head around that. How can it be biological and a robot at the same damn time? Which that's hard to do. But, anyways, I just there's stories about this, and
I'm beginning to wonder if Little Bit wasn't a '60s pothead in her previous life. The first thing she goes for is my ashtray. Now, I was smart because I have animals. I'll show this to you. This ashtray, you can close the lid and it won't empty. But she goes for it every single damn time. And that's not every man's dream, Von Helton, to have two chicks at the same time. Some men's dream is to find that one woman that they can love forever, and that was my husband's dream. That's why we're married. Some men just want to be married and settle down and love one woman. And that's my husband.
And what it is, it's like, well, it's oh well, it was just sleep paralysis, and you get a heavy chest, like something sitting on your chest. But he didn't get the heavy chest thing. He just woke up having somebody on top of you, and but he didn't get the heavy chest thing like he was paralyzed or something. So that blew that away. But usually there's this thing called sleep paralysis. You wake up, it feels like something's on your chest and you can't move, and this gives rise to the succubus. But I mean, obviously, if you got something on top of you going at it, you're going to know it. And but a lot of times, it's just you wake up and you can't move, and it feels like something sitting on your chest, but there's nothing there. And it's sleep paralysis, and it's a real thing, sadly. But it goes away. It's not permanent. So don't pay.
I've had sleep paralysis before, and it is scary. You can't move, and you think you see everything in your room, and you can't speak. It is damn scary. It is damn scary. I've only had that happen a couple of times. It doesn't happen anymore, thank God. My nightmares have gone away for the most part. I haven't had a nightmare in years. For a long time, I had horrendous nightmares. For many years, I had horrendous nightmares. Drive you to madness.
Panic. If you wake up and you cannot move, and it feels like something sitting on your chest, do not panic. Remain calm, and it will go away in just a minute or two. Okay, it won't last. But obviously, succubus and what this man encountered were two totally different things, right? But it struck me odd that he never said the Asian female was alien. He did say she had a little bit larger eyes than normal, but I mean, he never really come out and said she was an alien. Just that she was an Asian chick. Yellow skinned Asians, by the way. I don't. Muslims are not Asian. They're Middle Eastern. Okay, let's not get it twisted. An Asian is yellow skinned, folks.
Muslims are Asian. They are Asian. Stupid.
Not yellow skinned. They're brown skinned. Okay, so they're not Asians. Asians are yellow-skinned or yellowish white, but they are not brown-skinned. Brown-skinned are Middle Eastern folk. Muslims are Middle Eastern folk. They are not. They are not Asians. I don't know why the Brits started calling Muslims Asians. I have no idea why they started that, but that's not accurate. An Asian is someone with yellow or yellowish white skin. That is an Asian. Anyways, enough of that. But I just thought this was a hell of a story to tell. And it's, like I said, this was live. He was being interviewed live on video. And you could see the fear in the guy's face. He was afraid. And I'm just looking at the dude, shaking my head like, dude, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to be afraid.
I don't care if the two dudes look like Jason Momoa and they were feeding me strawberries with whipped cream. I would be afraid. I'd be afraid. He was assaulted, you dick. It was non-consensual. This story's totally made up, but it was non-consensual. Some guys don't want to have sex all the time.
I'm gonna be pretty damn happy. Actually, I'm certainly not gonna be afraid. Now, if it had
You're the type of guy that says, "Yeah, I've been faithful to my wife for 10 years, and the only reason you've been faithful is because nobody's came on to you."
been a succubus, well, that's a horse of a different color because they could kill you. A succubus can kill you, and succubus work alone anyway, so it wasn't a succubus. But it's just
You're right,
really
Dynacat. You're right.
bizarre. Just a really bizarre story, and like, okay, well, whatever. But I got a funny feeling I'm not going to be scared. No, I'm not. I mean, he was in his apartment, so I mean, it wasn't like he was in some strange place or something, or inside a spaceship or something. He was in his apartment. I don't know. It came across my desk, and so I'm going to report on it. And we had, it's kind of difficult to get some UFO stuff this personal.
No,
So I had to share it because that's one of those stories that
it ain't cheating if it's eating.
I certainly will not forget because, I mean, like I said, how many of us guys, show of hands, dream about having more than one female, in bed. I mean, come on. You can't, I don't know of any man that hasn't, I don't know of any straight man that hasn't. But anyway, but yeah, so that was interesting. And I thought I'd share it. 17 minutes, what the hell? I didn't know I'd been talking no 17 minutes. Holy shit.
Yeah, you've been bumping your gums for...
So there it is. That's...
Yeah, you've been bumping your gums and running your fucking mouth for the last 17 minutes, 37 seconds, repeating yourself and talking about how if it was you, you'd have been all in that and all this shit. God, you're so full of fucking crap.
It's got to be probably the most bizarre UFO story you're ever going to hear. And, oh, by the way, just in case you're hearing, just in case y'all are up there, yeah, I want that to happen to me. I want that to happen to me. Hell yes, I do. Oh, yeah. I absolutely want that shit to happen to me.
Yeah, I'm sure, you pervert.
I will not be afraid, I promise. I promise I won't be afraid. Oh, and you don't need to use that damn pill either. I don't need it. I'll be good. I'll be just fine. Oh, shit. But I just had to share this story because I thought it was hilarious.
It's like I said, there are a lot of men who just dream of having one woman to love. And that's the way my husband thinks. He has just one woman. One he loves, and that's me.
Funny because the guy's sitting there freaking, and I'm like, I would not be freaking. No, I'd be doing some other things, but freaking is not one of them. All right, anyway, that's going to do it. Bye.
Okay, the next one. I know we went over this, but I'm just doing a recap.
Hello, Jess. I have some questions that are.
And this is all shit that is none of his fucking business. And he's just bitter because Jess won't let him sleep in one of his fucking in one of her fucking rental properties. All this because Jess won't give him a handout.
Kind of disturbing, and I'm hoping maybe you can clarify for me a little bit. I got a very disturbing email that claims that you had abortions. Well, a lot of women have abortions, but the interesting thing about the abortions you had is that you had 7 of them. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 7.
You know what's interesting? Is that you haven't bathed in 2 months. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 weeks you've not fucking bathed. How are you not itching? You dirty looking fuck.
And the bodies were never recovered.
That's because they're treated like medical waste.
Would you care to enlighten that for me just a little bit, Jess? Because I'm a little confused on that. Even the pro-abortionists ain't going to side with you on this one, Jess. 7 abortions? I mean, even a moron can figure out at that point that there's something else going on, right? Yeah, and we know it, don't we, Jess? Yeah, we do. Something else is definitely going on. Now, the interesting thing about it, though, Jess, is I did some digging, and your California property and your Oregon property are only just a few hours apart from Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is only a 6-hour drive from the Oregon border. Isn't that interesting? That's very interesting, isn't it, Jess? Anybody can Google that, by the way. How far is Bohemian Grove from the Oregon border? 6 hours. That's it. Just 6 hours. Isn't that interesting, Jess?
How's that interesting? What has Bohemian Grove got to do with her? Seriously, what's it got to do with her? You know? I don't care if she had 20 abortions. That's her business. It's her business. The law says so.
And where did all these elderly and indigent people go that were in your California apartments and your Oregon apartments? Where did they all go? They just magically disappeared, I guess, huh, Jess? Is that what happened?
Oh, now you're going to blame disappearances
And
on
you
her.
only 6 hours away from Bohemian Grove?
Oh,
Maybe
now you're inferring that she's sacrificing people. God, you're a real piece of shit, aren't you? I was going to say piece of work, but you're a piece of shit.
you have some explaining to do, Jess. Right? Like I said, even the pro-abortionists ain't going to be with you on this one because they're going to be like, how many abortions? Yeah, that's not normal, Jess. Even the pro-abortionists ain't going to be with you on this one. 7 abortions? Holy shit, man. I think it's obvious at that point that there's some other agenda going on here instead of just oh well, I got knocked up by some creep, right? So anyway, inquiring minds want to know, Jess, because I mean, I did find it fascinating that your apartment complex in California and the apartment complex in Oregon aren't that far away from Bohemian Grove.
So fucking what? So fucking what? What's that mean? Nothing. It means nothing. God, you are so full of crap. Oh my God. You know something? You're a major piece of shit. You are a major piece of shit.
Is that a coincidence? Am I supposed to believe that's a coincidence, Jess? And what exactly is your religious proclivities, since we're on the subject matter? Inquiring
Hey
minds
Cobra.
want to know,
Hey Cobra
especially me.
Commander.
For those of you who don't know, folks, I am not a big proponent of Moloch. In fact, I have a real problem with Moloch. I have a real problem with Hubal too, the Muslim god. That's, by the way, that's the Muslim god's real name, is Hubal, not Allah. Allah means greatest of gods. It's a term. It means greatest of gods. It does not mean God. So if a Muslim sits there and says Allah means God, he's lying to your face. It means greatest of gods. In other words, chief deity. Okay? That's what Allah means. It doesn't mean God. In fact, I think the Muslim word for God is something totally different any fucking way.
And what's this
But
got to do
Hubal
with
is the real name of the Muslim god. Now, who the fuck is Hubal? Hubal is like...
what does any of this got to do with Jess? And what kind of shit are you talking out of your ass now? Fuck. You got some issues, my friend. You can't stay on topic for shit. I'm telling you, in in 4 or 5 years, this is going to be Rev minus the car.
a twin of Moloch. Child sacrifice, bloodletting, blood drinking, all kinds of cool shit. Demonic activity, invoking demons and evil spirits and shit. Now, the Muslims call them jinn. They actually have a name for them. They call them jinn. Interesting little tidbit of information there, isn't it?
You know, I wouldn't get my information about Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, paganism from you. I would go straight to the source. I would go ask a Muslim person or a pagan or a real Christian or consult my Bible. Or go to a. No, I wouldn't go to a church. Fuck the church.
But anyways, getting back to Jess, because that is the topic of discussion.
Hey,
Jess,
Isabella Rose. How
can you
you doing,
explain any of
lovely?
this? I mean, what's going on here, man? 7 abortions? Holy shit, dude! You realize that even the pro-abortionists ain't going to take your side on
Shit.
this one, because they're going to be wanting to know why you did so many abortions too. All right? Yeah, that's messed up, dude. That's pretty sick and twisted. But I just, I found it interesting that Bohemian Grove is not far away. Interesting. Is there anything you want to declare, Jess? Because I can tell you right now, man,
I can tell you.
the
I can
need
tell
to
you. I
send
can
you to
tell you.
outer darkness to hang out with the demons and shit sounding.
Don't worry, you're going to be in outer darkness, bitch. You're going to be in outer darkness before she is. Trust me. That's why you're hanging on by a fucking thread. And then that thread is going to break. And you're going to be streaming from each McDonald's you get kicked out of.
Pretty good right about now, right? Absolutely. Yeah, that's really sick and twisted, man. But I don't know. I just
Hey,
thought
Raccoon
I got
Man.
these questions that are burning on my mind, Jess, and we really need an answer, and they need to be addressed, right? Because I can tell you, I'm not one for demons. I'm not too big on demons. But anyway, getting back to Hubal real quick. So Hubal and Moloch I think Hubal and Moloch are the same dude personally, but, because they got the same MO, right?
You know, I don't know where you're getting this shit. If you're pulling it out of your ass. If you read something and you just have no reading comprehension or what. Good God, I don't know why we gotta look up your fucking nose, you dipshit. See all your gray nose hairs?
But you got good old Moloch, child sacrifice, child mutilation, bloodletting, blood drinking, invoking demons and evil spirits, consigning demons and evil spirits, sometimes even outright possession. Yeah, just all kinds of nasty shit going on.
What do you do during the day? What do you do? What does this fucker do with his day? Because he only does like 20-minute videos. You know? You can't spend your entire existence looking at a tiny screen watching videos and reading articles. You need to get a fucking job, my friend. I did. You know, it's good for you to work. I'll probably work until the bitter end, till I can't work no more, which will make my Social Security check a lot fatter.
But Bohemian Grove has this cremation of care that they do. And of course, it's all in good, clean fun, right, guys? Isn't that what they said? No, it's yeah. There's nothing to it. Oh, okay, nothing to it. And then we find out that CERN had a similar mock human sacrifice, didn't they? Yeah. Is that a coincidence? Am I supposed to believe that's coincidence? What am I supposed to do with that? And by the way, that's 2 human sacrifices too many, in my opinion. But
Hey,
I find
Julian.
that fascinating, Jess, and I just, as somebody who is sworn to preserve life in all its forms, I find that very disturbing, obviously. So
You
hopefully,
are sworn to preserve life in all its forms, and yet you killed how many dogs by not feeding them? How many?
Hopefully you can address that for me there, Jess. I would really appreciate it. As Sharpie tries to photobomb my video. I seen you back there, Sharpie. See his nose sticking out? There's his nose sticking out right there. There's his nose sticking out. There he is. There he goes. Hey, there he is. There's the Sharpie dog. There's the Sharpie dog right there. And he's tired. See, I'm tired, Dad. All right. Anyways, but yeah, man. Inquiring minds are wanting to know. What's up with that, man? That's pretty bizarre, right? You know, but like I said, even the pro-abortionist thing will be with you on this one, man. You did how many abortions? Yeah, 7. Damn, that's crazy.
How many times are you gonna fucking say that? Like you're trying to disparage her? Huh? How many fucking times are you gonna say that, you brat bastard? How many times are you gonna fucking say that? Leave her alone. I don't even know the girl, but I like her.
Where are the bodies, Jess? Where are the bodies? Because that's the story, is that the bodies are unaccounted for. Do you know where they went? Maybe you can enlighten us, Jess, as to where the bodies went. And how about all these indigent people that turned up missing? Any idea where they went? Inquiring minds want to know.
Why would she have any idea where the fuck they went?
Oh, maybe you can enlighten us, Jess. Right? Maybe you can tell us what's really going on.
Hey, Dinah Cat, how you doing, lovely?
Because I think I stepped on a landmine here, haven't I? Yeah, I think I have. I think I've opened up something that needs to be opened up and exposed to the light of day, right? Maybe so. Anyway, I just thought I'd share, because I can, because I should. Anyway, you have a wonderful day, folks, and a better tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, fuck off. I hate you, Helton. Oh my god, he is such a fucking jackass. Let's go back to Graveyard Flowers. We were working on a video. Let's see. No. It's just a person trying to humans got it. Has got one we were working on. They've also got he's also got a new one. We'll go ahead and go over part of that one. Just a person trying to human has got all your retro shanty needs met. So please give a like, a share, and subscribe to Just a Person Trying to Human.
So I'm pretty sure this microphone is broken. So I'm just going to make this quick. It's pretty clear to me that the guy is...
Fuck!
So I'm pretty sure this microphone is broken. So I'm just going to make this quick. It's pretty clear to me that the guy is extremely damaged individual. We're going to start with that. It's pretty clear. Oh. Oh, hey, what's up, guys? So once again, I'm just asking for prayer. Because I'll tell you, this inflation, I don't know where you're at, but where we're at, it's pretty bad. And we depend on the EBT card to eat, you know. And
you depend upon the EBT card to eat because you're too lazy to get a fucking job, you asshole. There are people that work that can't afford to feed themselves. I don't have a problem with that. There are people that have kids that can't afford to feed themselves. I don't have a problem with that. There are disabled people who can't afford to feed themselves. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is two able-bodied fuckers sitting on their ass drawing stamps. You shouldn't be getting them grub stubs. Grub stubs. You can't get the grub without the stubs.
It literally gets us to about half a month, and it's gone. If you're of the persuasion, if you could help us out.
Hell, I could make $100 last a month. Even now. I know I could. And I would eat well. If it was just me and I had nobody else, you better damn well believe I could make my money stretch. And still live well.
With some prayers on that. Thank you very Book of Elon. You better believe inflation is bad. It straight up. It is. I don't know about where you're at, but where I'm at, if I want to get like just a pack of Reese's, like a pack of Reese's pieces, it's $3, man. Like, are you serious?
You shouldn't be eating Reese's Pieces. Those are not. You should not be eating Reese's Pieces, you fucking prick. You know what you should be eating? Potatoes, rice, beans, and some vegetables and a meat.
So yeah, I'm not just asking for prayer for myself either, because I know this is happening with other people too. So pray for them too. Just send out the prayers for people that are in need right now, because you can't do nothing. Like honestly, the prices of everything is so high. Like, how are people going to movies these days? My God, it's got to be crazy, insane. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we just need prayer, man. We're just asking for prayer. But I mean, if you felt like sending a pizza, you could.
I don't feel like sending a pizza. Does anybody here feel like sending a pizza? Anybody?
People that used to do that, if you feel like sending a pizza, you can. But yeah, just pray for us, all right, guys? We love you. No, yeah, I totally understand, Jen, that candy isn't food. It is technically food because it provides sustenance for your body. But I'm just giving an example. I remember back in the day that I could go into Convenient Mart and get myself like, a Zero Bar or a Snickers or whatever, and it'd be like 50 cents, like 89 cents, something like that. Now you go into a place and it's $1.99 for a candy bar. Like, are you serious? It's insane. Reese's Pieces, yeah, you're paying $3. Get out of here. It's crazy. So yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I remember when they were a quarter. I remember when canned Cokes were a quarter. Cokes. Not the generic brand, the Cokes were a quarter. I could take 50 cents and go get myself a Coke and a candy bar. Money was at a premium when you were little. And if you had 2 quarters to rub together, you were going to get yourself a Coke and a candy bar because you didn't get that shit very often when you were a kid. We didn't get it a lot when we were kids. That's why we never had cavities. Our parents rarely gave us candy.
I won't keep you any longer than that. God bless you guys, and I hope you're doing well. And times are tough, Bidenomics works, doesn't it? Absolutely truth.
Hi everyone. I just came in here because I need prayer. Like, I really need some prayer right now. Me and Jason's been eating rice and just living on rice and water for a while now, and
Be glad you got that. There's lots of scarecrows out there that haven't got that. And whenever I would get sick of eating ramen noodles, whenever I had nothing but ramen noodles to eat, I would remember that woman and that child rummaging through a flaming pile of garbage for something to eat or for something useful. And then I would look around my house that's nice and warm and I would think, yeah, I'm fortunate. I've got something to eat, I've got gas in my car, and I got cigarettes to smoke. So yeah, I think I'm doing okay. And I've got ramen noodles to eat. Some people don't even have that to eat tonight.
We both have been looking for, you know, ways how to like support ourselves, and it's really hard right now because I'm like my health issues have been getting worse and I've been getting worse and I just don't know what to do anymore.
Your health issues are getting shitty because you don't take care of yourself. You don't take care of yourself. Hmm? Wouldn't that be the reason that you weigh 500 fucking pounds? You weigh a quarter of a fucking ton? That'd take the wind out of anybody's sails. I weighed 250 pounds at one time. Yeah, it took the wind out of my fucking sails. You damn skippy it did. Oh, and my weight loss is going good, guys. I've lost 2 pounds of of the 12 that I've put on. I've stopped eating Halloween candy. I'm over it.
Hi everyone. Um,
Now I'm going to be making up big bags of candy and giving it to everybody. Taking it and putting it on the break room table.
I just came in here because I need prayer. Like, I really need some prayer right now. Me and Jason's been eating rice and just living on rice and water for a while now, and we both have been looking for, you know, ways how to like support ourselves, and it's really hard right now because I'm like my health issues have been getting worse and I've been getting worse and I just don't know what to do anymore. Um, but I need prayer for.
I need money. I need you to feel sorry for me. I need you to pity me. I need attention. Do I have it right yet? Oh, it's all the above. I can dig it.
For a life. Um, I need prayer to have some food. I need prayer to get some income in my household, and I need prayer for health too. I don't even know if it's gonna go very well. I don't remember things like I used to. Um, and it's just everything is getting worse. It's like
Who the hell does? Who the hell does remember things the way they used to? I know I sure as fuck don't. I don't remember shit. Can't remember shit. I'll walk into a room and forget why the fuck I walked in there. And it's something pretty important too. Uh, why am I in here? And as far as your pain is concerned, I'm still in pain. And I start a new job like soon. And if you want steady income, you're going to have to just get a remote job or something. Because you're not going to have any kind of fucking income unless you fucking do that.
Like I remember, um, like we were talking to a doctor to get my X-rays. I need a full body X-ray because the arthritis is progressing.
You'll never fit in the fucking machine. Well, I got to go because I got to start getting ready for I got to start showering and getting ready for the show, my flea market. I got to get my costume ready. I haven't even picked out a costume yet, which I'll let y'all see that when I get home. I want to thank everybody that came and saw me. You guys rock. I don't care if you're here for 10 minutes, 10 seconds, or the whole thing. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. You know why? Well, do you? It's because nobody else will. Now, y'all take care, and I'll see you this afternoon when I get home. Bye. Peace.